We've already talked about how I think one of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to budgeting is that they forget to determine their financial goals and understand how they're currently spending their money first. Even if you did those things and you're ready to create your budget, your first inclination is to probably create a monthly one. And we're gonna go over why I think that's a mistake right after this. Hey there, I'm Hagerman, your financial coach, and if you're saying things like, with my income, I shouldn't feel this stressed about money, then you're in the right place. This channel is all about helping you better understand your money so you can use it as a tool to help you achieve financial freedom. And a well-executed budget can go a long way in helping you achieve financial freedom. Now, if I don't recommend making a monthly budget first, what do I recommend? Well, I'm sure you've heard me harp several times on planning for those more periodic, larger expenses that you might have over time. That once-a-year kids' summer camp that you expense that you have, that 6-month car insurance premium that you have to pay every so often. And this annual budget, in fact, I actually recommend creating a 2-year budget first, can really help you plan for the future.
Impossible to see. The future is.
Now, I can't believe I disagree with Yoda here, but that is what this annual budget is all about. It's about planning for the future, visualizing what your finances are gonna look like over the coming months. So this annual budget is gonna help you in a number of different ways, and let's go over each one of those ways right now. First, it's gonna let you see those larger, less frequent expenses several months in advance, and you might be able to see that you don't have enough income in that month to pay for that larger expense plus your other monthly expenses, and you'll be able to see then that you need to start saving money now, today, several months ahead of when you actually have to pay for that thing. So for example, if you plugged in your typical holiday spending into your budget, the amount that you spend every year, and you then looked at your regular monthly income plus your other monthly expenses, you might find that, wow, I don't have enough money to be able to pay for this stuff around the holidays, and you'll be able to see then that you need to start saving money today to be able to have that amount of money that you want for the holidays and not have to dip into your emergency fund or use your credit card to get you through that time period of the year. That again is where that annual budget can really help. And once you start plugging in some of these periodic expenses then or other financial goals that you have and see that you need to start saving several months in advance, you might then see that you don't have as much left over on a monthly basis to pay extra on your debt as you might have thought you would. So you might have experienced this in the past where you have some success paying off your debt only to find out several months later that you need to use that debt again to then pay for that thing that you maybe should have been saving up for right now. So that annual budget then will help you better understand what you truly have left over on a monthly basis to make as an extra payment on your debt. And it might be less than what you had hoped it would have been, but it's also then going to ensure that you don't accumulate more debt in the future. You hop off of that up and down roller coaster of debt that you might currently be on. And also, once you throw in those periodic expenses and figuring out what you want to pay extra on your debt, you might find out then too that you don't have as much left over on a monthly basis for discretionary expenses. You might have to reduce your entertainment, your dining out, your clothing expenses greater than what you thought because you have to start saving up for those more periodic expenses. Second, the annual budget is gonna provide you with a little bit more motivation. So if you jumped right into creating a monthly budget right now, you might see that, oh, I only have an extra $100 a month to pay above and beyond my minimums on my debt. It's gonna take me forever to get out of debt. So if you create this annual budget though, maybe you do this annual budget and you see over the next 12 months, you're gonna be able to pay off $1,200 of debt. You look at that $1,200 number and you go, wow, that's actually a good amount of money. I'm gonna be making some progress. But the thing is, $100 a month, if you had a monthly budget to start, times 12 months is $1,200. It's exactly the same thing, but you're seeing a different number, which might be more motivational to you. And by creating this annual budget, you may also be able to see that you might have even more than you think to pay extra on your debt. That's especially true if you get paid bi-weekly. So you may know, as an individual that gets paid bi-weekly, that there are usually 2 months out of a typical 12-month time period where you get 3 paychecks instead of just the typical 2 paychecks. So if you have those 3 paycheck months then, and you plan and kind of live off of 2 paychecks, you might see that in those months with those extra paychecks, you have even more money to pay on your debt. So your $1,200 a month, or excuse me, your $1,200 a year might turn into $4,000 for the year because of those extra paychecks that you get as an individual that receives biweekly payments for your pay. Third, when you switch to monthly budgeting, that's kind of the next step after creating your annual budget. When you switch to that monthly budgeting, you're then going to use that annual budget as a guide to be able to determine what you need to budget in a given month based on having to plan ahead for some things. So you might look at your annual budget and say, okay, hey, this is the month of May, and I'm looking at my annual budget. My car insurance premium isn't due until October, but according to my annual budget, I need to set aside $100 for that this month, in the month of May. It doesn't make sense, in your mind to start saving for that and it's not due until October, but according to your annual budget and how things look on your annual budget with all of your other expenses on there, it has said to you now that you need to actually save that $100 now and set that money aside now to plan for that other expense that's coming up in the future. So as you can see, the annual budget will help you out immensely. So what I want you to do here is I want you to head down to the comment section and tell me what kind of expenses you have that are larger and sometimes kind of sneak up on you and you're just like, oh man, I totally forgot about this and I need to dip into my emergency fund now, or well, I have to put it on my credit card and hopefully I can pay it off in 2 months and not have to pay a whole bunch of money in interest. What kind of expenses do you have that kind of fit that bill? And if you plan for them much further ahead, or you looked at this annual budget and you said, oh, I need to plan for this over time, do you think that'll help you out? Head down to the comments and let me know those two answers to those 2 questions. Also, annual budgets are pretty hard to come by. Many people don't make them as worksheets or spreadsheets. Most budgeting software programs don't have them built into it. So I've actually created an in-depth annual, technically 2-year budget that is available to members on my website. So if you're at least a $2 bill member or higher, you get access to that library of worksheets. So it's not just the annual budget worksheet, you get access to many other worksheets as well as instructional videos on how to use that. I have over an hour's worth of instructional videos for this annual budget. Walks you step by step through the worksheet, how to utilize it, how to adjust things, how to make it work for you. That's all included for that $2 bill per month member, at least at a minimum. So if you're a member of my site right now, you can certainly find a link to the sign-in page below this video. If you're not a member of my site, there's another link down there as well to sign up to get access to this worksheet that I highly recommend that you utilize before you start budgeting monthly. And if you found this video helpful, please click the like button below. That'll go a long way for a new channel like me to get this video out to the people that need to see it. If you are new to the channel, certainly click over here to subscribe. We would love to have you as a new subscriber so you can get weekly information on how to manage your personal finances. And as always, remember that you deserve financial freedom. Take care of your money so it can take care of you later. See you next time.